So one morning I remember waking up and she worked in the salon. So we're up in the morning getting ready and stuff. And then I was sitting there drinking my coffee, watching the TV. I was ready. I was just waiting for them to call.
Yeah.
They say movement, innit? Like
Okay,
you get up and go where you're going and they let you through. They give you a little slip thing that lets you through the buildings and stuff. And then I was sitting there drinking my coffee. And then after I'd finished it or something, I put the cup down. The girl turns around and says to me, "What, you didn't think to save me some or something?" I looked at her, huh? What?
My coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even share cups or drinks or that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. And then she must have turned around and said to me, "You look like a man, but you don't act like one." I was like, "What?"
Oh, she
Like, my
tried
blood
it.
started to boil then.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 139 of the Tutus podcast. I am Nana.
And I'm Ro.
And together we are
Tutus.
Tutus.
Boom, 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 boom.
We got a special guest in the building today. Welcome, Tyler, to the show. It's nice to have you. Nice. It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
It's been a long time. Do you guys want to say how you guys know each other?
Through bus driving.
Yeah, from
Through bus driving.
Yeah.
The bus 48 was still there.
Yeah.
And it's still 48 now. So it's been a minute still since bus driving.
Yep.
And did you like bus driving?
Do you know, I actually enjoyed it.
I loved it, you know.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little secret. I've actually got a tattoo of a route master.
No, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I've
Half,
seen it.
like,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I love it.
Love
Do
it.
you know what? Yeah, I think that when you start the job, you just start starting, I need a job in it. So you just starting the job.
Literally.
And then you see the people, they've been there for years, and I get it.
Because it's
Like a family, man.
It's like a family.
Yeah.
Literally.
It is like a family.
Because you even now, like, she hasn't worked there in a while,
Yeah.
but she sees the bus drivers.
I know.
"Hi," and, and then the other day she was like, "Oh, that's my favorite bus driver. I used to
yeah.
talk to. We used to have
Yeah.
chats and stuff." So yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, there was a guy from work, he used to do the 55. He was an older Ghanaian guy, kind of short, and he was always used to wear a white shirt.
I think I know you're talking
I
about.
always talk to him when I see him. Like, always talk to
Still
him.
there, innit?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
When I was on the
I know
26,
you're
I see him changing drivers when I was on the 26. He's like, come back. I'm like, nah, they pay more here.
So where the money is, isn't it?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
listen, I've been saying it before. The buses might see me there again, man. I enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
You know.
I remember when Rosie met you, and then she came on and she told me, "Oh yeah, I met this guy Tyler. He's so cool."
Yeah.
I even remember that point. So yeah.
yeah,
it's been a few
a while.
years.
It's been a while still.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Okay, so talk to us about you first. Like, what do you do? What you about, and everything like that.
Well, obviously, you guys
Yeah.
know me. I'm Tyla Takai Mitchell. I'm a transgender male. 28 years old, 29 in July. And right now I'm truck driving. So I've been truck driving for the last year and a half. I was bus driving before that. Obviously, I might be going back to the buses soon.
Listen, we're all going back.
My face in a town near you. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. And talk about your TikTok. Let's get into TikTok
Okay,
first.
so
So,
I-
what made you even? Because you know, obviously, from knowing you from then,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that you would have been a social media person. But I think you started to want to raise awareness about certain things. So, what's your TikTok all about? Like, what's your
So,
aim on
like,
TikTok?
I've always sort of been that person where, like, obviously I do know a lot of people all over like East, North sort of London and stuff. And South, actually. I know a few South from raving back in the day. Gay raves and stuff. So I know quite a lot of people, but I've always, like, when it comes to social media and stuff, I've always sort of, I ain't been that involved in it. I'd say. I like to, like, just keep on a down low and do my own thing kind of thing. I just thought it was like a follow thing. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's just follow each other and just the perception of who you're meant to be sort of thing, who people make you out to, like, do you know what I mean? To be on social media and stuff. I just weren't really about all of that.
Sometimes
you know
it's
what I'm
long.
trying to say?
Yeah, it's long sometimes. It's
kinda
just
long.
too
It's
fast.
like trying to keep up with
exactly.
the Joneses sort
Yeah.
of thing. But anyway, so I went, obviously, I had my top surgery last year. June it was, and from then I just thought, you know what, I want to actually document this and put it out there, and obviously share my story as well of my transitioning, because, like, it's been a long one. It has been a long one, but I feel like I took the wrong paths at certain times as well. And that was because I didn't have much advice and stuff. 10 years ago, like, literally how things are today was nothing like how it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, there was no one out there really.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have much information, so I took the wrong paths a good few times. But yeah, I'm here where I am today, and I'm grateful. Do you know what I mean? Where I am today. And I just wanted to share it with other people to see if I can actually help other people on their journeys as well, and obviously get advice for myself. Do you know what I mean? And get help myself. So yeah, I started to share my top surgery after I had my top surgery, what it was like recovering and stuff, and a bit of my background. And then recently, I decided to obviously speak about what it was like being in prison. In 2018.
Yeah.
And yeah,
but that's really good, because like I think social media, as we all know, like sometimes it's a bit of a chore, like, and as you said, like keeping up appearances, like nobody wants to do that. Like people only see like snapshots of your life. They don't see like the bad. They only kind of see like the good. So like putting yourself out there is not always easy, but sometimes it's necessary in terms of what you do. Like if you have a platform, or if you just want to share like your experience or share some knowledge as well. So that's like really, really important. But like, do you want to take us through like your journey of, because some people might not have seen a TikTok or seen you on Instagram, so do you want to like share a bit about your journey of like, you know, the surgery as well? Like how was that, and what wrong turns did you make, just for the people out there?
Okay, so basically I'll tell you where it all started. So at about maybe I'd say 13 years old, I kind of realized I was not like everybody else, should I say, in a sense. I identified then as a lesbian. I was a stud. And I was like that for a few years until I actually met somebody. I think it was like a key worker who introduced me to somebody who was trans. And they must have saw some sort of traits in me that maybe thought maybe this girl guy could possibly be trans, you know what I mean? So anyway, I ended up meeting with this person, sitting down and speaking with them and stuff, and actually thought to myself, do you know what? Like at the time as well, I hated like my body, should I say, like how it looked and stuff like that.
All like
always
want stuff.
I always wanted to have facial hair and stuff like that. And so yeah, I just thought to myself, wow, maybe I might be trans. So when I was about 16, I started to go to the gender identity clinic. And I had a few counselling sessions and stuff like that with them. And they told me what I could possibly do in the future to obviously maybe achieve the results that I'm after and stuff. So I said, all right, cool. So my plan was to just get on testosterone as soon as I could and start hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that. And then eventually have top surgery to get rid of my female chest. And then also have lower surgery as well. So the doctors basically said to me, when I was at the age about 18, old enough to start testosterone, he said to me, like, if you start testosterone now, like, that's it, sort of thing. You would never be able to have kids again. It's going to probably destroy, like, do you know what I mean, your fertility and stuff. And he was like, do you just want to do it? And I was just like, yes, I just want to do it. You're offering it to me now. Like, I can't wait no longer. I don't want to wait no longer. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, let's just go for it. Like, if I want to have children and stuff in the future, there's always an option I can adopt. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of kids out there that need families. So that was my plan, sort of thing. So I just went straight for it. And then I think I got to about 21. No, I'd say about 20, because I was on it for about 1.5 to 2 years. And then I remember the doctor saying, well, I turned around to the doctor and I said to him, like, do you know what? I actually think I might want to have like my own kids. Like, is there a possibility of me obviously storing my egg, like getting my eggs removed? Because I was aware that was able to happen, but it weren't actually on the CCG. Is it CCG? No, the Clinical Commissions Group. And they pay like there's funding from the NHS basically for certain things to happen, and that weren't included in it. So it would have cost me thousands of pounds to actually have it done as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So that's why at that sort of younger age, it weren't really an option. But then I started to think like, maybe I do actually want to do it. Like, even if it's going to take saving thousands of pounds to do it, I'm going to do it. So at 21, I turned around and I said to the doctors, like, this is what I want to do. And it's like, they literally said to me, oh my God, like, stop testosterone now. Like, you need to stop it now if you want to save things. Because when I actually started T, my periods and stuff stopped within about 3 months, 4 months. And that was it. Yeah, that was it. Never to be seen again, literally.
You must love that.
That was it. So then when I told the doctors this, obviously, it was like, oh my God, you need to stop testosterone now. Give it like 6 months or something, wait for your cycle to come back. And then we can obviously go through the steps or figure out a procedure, how we're going to obviously do it. So it's all right, cool. And then months went by, it came back and stuff like that. And then I think obviously I spoke to them again about doing it, and they told me the only way is private. So now it was just like, all right, cool. So
more money.
saving. So I kind of just let it go and just carried on living my life and just getting by sort of thing at the time. That's how I sort of saw it. And then I got told, it was about 3-4 years literally had went by and nothing had happened. I was literally off testosterone, like, and I remember hearing that there's talks of them being able to do it on the NHS. So I was like, oh my God, put my name down. Do you know what I mean? So I ended up getting my name put down for it. Then it was another waiting game for about another 2 years.
Yeah, man, so much waiting.
Yeah, another waiting game. So I think at about, I'm 28. I was about 25 and actually got the letter through my door saying, yep, you've been accepted. You got an appointment at Homerton Fertility Clinic.
Oh,
like, right,
no, cool.
Yeah, that's where I was born as well.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah,
All of us, boy. Yeah.
So my eggs are sitting in a lab in Homerton Hospital at the moment, frozen.
Yeah.
How
was that process like? What did they do?
So that process, it was a bit of a crazy one because they told me that like you obviously have to start, whether you've been on testosterone or not, part of the process is to take estrogen injections to sort of get the things moving and get the cycle moving and to help produce as much eggs as possible as well for them to take out.
Yeah.
And so I had to self-inject for I think about 2-3 weeks, literally in my stomach. It was a horrible experience, but at the same time I was just thinking, this is happening.
Yeah, you want to get this done. Yeah.
Sort of thing. So there was literally times I was on the phone to my mum crying like with a needle.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Mum's like, just think of what you're doing it for. So yeah, ended up getting through that luckily. And yeah, it was a bit of a crazy experience. Like I said, there was times obviously I was in a fertility clinic on the bed, my legs wide open for them to do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So it was a bit, I felt like demasculating in a sense. But like I said, I was just thinking, why
long term,
this needs to be done. So yeah, I got through it, thankfully.
Yeah.
It all happened.
Okay.
And then as soon as it had happened, I jumped straight back onto testosterone and I've been on it ever since. And after that, obviously, I then went through planning on having my top surgery. Yeah.
Would you say that was a bit of like a sacrifice having to go off T to for all these years, for all those years? Yeah.
But this is the thing. So when I've spoke to other people and even specialists and stuff about how my journey sort of went, they said to me like, you shouldn't have stopped testosterone. You didn't need to actually stop testosterone. Yeah, because you didn't even have an appointment.
Right.
You didn't even know when this was
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? You didn't need to jump straight off of it like that.
But it's because of the way the doctor said you need to come off it right. It's urgency in it.
Made me panic. Like, have I just like ruined everything? So yeah, there was obviously I should have had the appointment first and stuff like that and had a plan in place before I jumped off testosterone like that.
Yeah. But you know what? It's all done now. Like you said, do you know what I think that with these things, everyone's journey just looks different. Yeah. And it's just meant to be the way it's meant to be. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't your time to do it then, but it's done now. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it would have cost you way more if you'd done it earlier as well. And then we got peas like that. So especially when we're that age, we don't have money like that at that age. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So let's fast forward to 2018 now. 2018.
Okay, so 2018, just prior, because I got sent down at the beginning of 2018, basically. So just prior to that, I'll say from about summer 2017 sort of thing, I was in a bit of a rocky relationship. Things were going sideways to the point where there was times I was literally sleeping in my car and stuff like that. Like it went great. And I was working at the same time or trying to keep up my job at the bus garage and stuff. And you know, that's hard. Some of the hours there.
Yeah, shift work's not easy,
Yeah, so things were just all over the place. And I ended up just literally giving up my job, lost my job and started doing other things to make money, which weren't legal, I'll be honest. But it was just getting me by and my head was all over the place. I was literally just going down the wrong path and just didn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. Literally at the time, like I said, I wasn't on testosterone, had no plans in my transition to look forward to in a sense. And I feel like when you're in that sort of situation, you feel like you've just got no hope. You've got no future. Do you know what I mean? You've got nothing to look forward to. You don't know where you're going to be in a year's time or 5. You do have no plans. And you don't. Yeah, it's just like you just live for the day. And that's where I was at. And then one day, I'd never forget it. It was actually on my little sister's birthday, January the 3rd, 2018. And it was on the road that I grew up in Leytonstone. I turned onto this road and police pulled up behind me and I got stopped, searched, and I got arrested for intent to supply and carry an offensive weapon. Now, they bailed me, and then I ended up going to court, I think about 2-3 weeks later. And I thought to myself, like, I really did not think I was going to prison, honest to God. Like, I really didn't think I was, because of like my past as well. Like, I know it had been like I was in a bit of trouble maybe when I was younger, but things had changed, you know what I mean? I had a good career at the time. Well, prior to that, I had a good career and stuff. I had a good family support as well. I had good family, even though at the times when I needed them, I didn't reach out to them, do you know what I mean? But I had a good supportive family and stuff around me. And I just thought maybe the judge would give me some community service or something like that. But no, he literally handed me, I think it was a 6 or 7 month sentence. So I do 3 months, which is quite pathetic when you think about it. Like, literally, I wouldn't say they've ruined my life, because I've turned that into a better in me. But like, he could have potentially ruined my life just for 3 months in prison.
Because it might be hard to get opportunities afterwards.
Exactly.
And some people just end up in a cycle afterwards. After that, it's like, well, I can't get a job, so let me just go back to what I was doing.
Literally, like when I was in there was people that were in there for 2-3 weeks or whatever, come back out a week later, you see them back in, like constantly. Like, there's no rehabilitation afterwards. Like, literally, it was ridiculous.
That's crazy. That is mad. So when that happened now, what was the first thing going through your mind? Was it like, shit, like, I'm gonna go to a male prison or female prison? Like, or was it just, I'm in prison?
I was totally lost. Yeah, it's just I'm in prison. That's it. Like, but I can't lie. When I was younger, like 13, 14, when I was still trying to find myself as well, and I was like a little shit. You know what I mean? Mum used to always say to me, and she'd say to me, "You're gonna end up dead or in prison." Like, literally, that's what she would say to me. And the way I was carrying on, and from hearing that, I tried to better myself as well. I thought, I don't want to be one of them. That's the reason why I got this teardrop as well. I've lost a lot of friends from school and stuff due to this gang violence stupidness, literally. Do you know what I mean? So I said, no, I don't want to be one of them people. But then that time happened, 2018. And I just sat there thinking, I remember in the cell, waiting to get obviously transferred to the prison. I was just thinking, damn, like, this is it. That's it. Like, I'm going to prison. I just couldn't believe it.
I was just so shocked to the system.
I
bet it took you back to that 13-year-old person who was like, confused. You know what I mean? It takes you back there. And I think what people don't realize is sometimes when you get that guilty, you ain't going home. Sometimes you're going back to the cell. Do you know what I mean? Some people think you get to go say bye to your family and stuff like that. But is that the case?
No.
Yeah.
But that's the thing as well. Imagine my mum and that was in like the witness docs, I guess, or no, but they're not witnesses. What are they, like the family? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Call it again. There's a name for it.
You
might know what you mean. Yeah.
They were in there, and so was my aunt as well, my mum's sister, and that. And as I got sentenced and got sent down, as soon as they said the thing, obviously I've looked over to them and I just see their hearts break as well, and it was just such an emotional time, man. It was so sad. It was.
I've been in the court before when someone got a guilty, and it was a trial. But what they didn't tell the jury was, like, this boy was the main caregiver for the mum who had cancer. And I thought, if only they knew. And then I think they let the jury stay there for sentencing, and all the jury started crying when they found out all the actual details. They're like, they feel like they just ruined this guy's life.
But they can't use stuff like that for the case. Like, if you're actually like trying to better yourself, you've got you've got responsibilities, or you just find that there's like no other choice for you, like in that moment. Like, I mean, sometimes I do feel like the judges do try and make an example out of people,
100%,
no, of course.
which is I think it's fucked up. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like every case is different. Do you know what I mean? So
it's not just a book thing. Like, open the book. I'll give them this number is. Do you know what I mean? And then when you go in, was 3 months worth it? Because you know we're in rehabilitation afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Is it really worth it?
Is it really worth your life? Because, like, as you said, sometimes when people come out, they go straight back to it because there's no other, like, option. They've got this on their record now. It might be hard to get a job. Is 3 months really worth that?
Yeah, and some people don't come out to nothing. They don't come out to a house or nothing like that. So, but so when it came to where you're gonna go, how did that go?
So, I got told that obviously I said to them down in the cells when I was in the court that obviously I said to them, like, look, I'm a trans man, like, what's going to happen kind of thing. And they said to me, well, you're on the list to get sent to Bronzefield females prison. I think that's because my name and my gender and everything on the paperwork
was female still.
Female. So I was just like, all right, cool, I'll get sent there. And to be fair, in my head straight away, I thought to myself, I would much prefer rather go to a women's shower than a men's shower. Like they are both obviously not nice places to be in.
To jail, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. But like I genuinely believe from stories I hear and stuff, a women's shower is that tiny bit more safer than a men's shower. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have them crazy like stabbings on the wings and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as often, do you know what I mean, that happening in a female shower. So I said, all right, cool, I'll go. Well, I had no choice at that time. They said they're taking me there. So get put into the sweat box now. Remember driving along, and then this woman started talking to me, and as I've gone to speak back, she's like, "Wait, is this a mixed sweat box? Like, are we going are we doing drop-offs first?"
I'm screaming.
And then from there, I just held my tongue. I thought, let me not even talk no more.
Yeah.
Confuse these women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we got there now, and then I think it was like I don't know the actual name of the head of the prison, or like, do you know what I mean? Like the person who runs, governor or something.
I was gonna say the governor.
I don't know.
The warden's they're on the like landing and stuff.
Right.
So
I think it is the governor. Yeah.
The prison come to speak to me, and she sat there and she said to me like, "Look, we're gonna give you the option. We give all our transgender inmates an option whether you would like to obviously serve your sentence here at the females' prison, or you want to get taken to a male's prison." And now she goes to me, we have other transgender male in the prison and transgender women as well in the prison. She said to me, the wing that I would be going on to does have a transgender man on it as well.
Okay, yeah.
And stuff. She said there's also, so when you first go to prison, they give you a pack sort of thing that has like a few pairs of underwear and stuff, just like deodorant and stuff like that, and pajamas, just a little pack to get you through a couple of days till your family can bring in clothes and stuff. And she said, we've actually got a trans pack.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said, all right, cool. Like, she made it sound welcoming.
It's like, okay, get settled in.
Yeah. So that was that. And then she handed me over to like who was like sort of like my key worker kind of. It was another inmate as well who's serving a long sentence. Handed me over to her sort of thing. She was like, all right, I'll go get your trans pack and stuff, and we'll take you over to your cells. She went. Come back about 5 minutes later and said, sorry, there's nothing left in the storeroom. I think the girls who worked in the storeroom were nicking all the boxes and everything. Yeah.
And they're not going to do nothing about that. It's like up to you lot to sort that out. Yeah.
So I think she was only able to give me like a Sure men's deodorant or something like that, but she weren't able to give me literally no underwear, no nothing. So I had nothing. And bearing in mind, I went to court suited and booted with tie on, smart shoes. Everything. So I was in the prison in that. For 3 days.
Damn.
Yeah, in my suit.
Was everyone just watching you?
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah.
Literally, I was looking so fresh. It was unbelievable. Like, they probably thought I was, I don't know, another...
some staff or something. Yeah.
And then, yeah, so... Anyway, so they took me into my cell. It was late, so everyone was all locked up and stuff, so... Literally, it locked me straight in. It was about 7-8 o'clock at night. I didn't know what time they'd unlock the cells and stuff in the morning. They didn't tell me. So I tried to get off to sleep. Woke up in the morning at about 5 in the morning, and then I could just smell this burnt toast. Thinking, okay, that's breakfast. Breakfast. And then I think they opened the door at about 7 in the morning. And literally, as they opened the cell door, I could see the servery and people queuing up for their breakfast. And I see one of my boys there. Literally the trans guy. I know him.
Oh, you knew him? Okay.
I was like, yes, my guy. So that made me feel a bit more, do you know what I mean? Relaxed. Everyone's looking, can see people gossiping, like who's this guy? Everyone's just gossiping.
Were you the only new one that day?
Yeah. I was the new one that day. And so obviously I didn't have nothing, literally. Ended up seeing there was a lady that worked in a diversion, inclusion and
DNI,
that sort of department. And she was lovely, literally. Straight away, my mum somehow got in contact with her. They were literally phoning every day, like chatting to each other. And that lady actually went out of her way and went to Tesco's or wherever it was, the nearest supermarket, bought me boxes and stuff. Yeah, and brought it into me.
Oh, man. That's nice. Yeah.
So I rate her for that. She had to go and do that.
Yeah. You know what? I can't imagine for you, because even if I went and then there was a pack and it had knickers in it, I wouldn't be comfortable.
Do you know what they done to me?
Yeah.
Do you know what they done to me? I kept asking for pajamas, and the men on that, the staff on that wing, the men, I feel like they were very spiteful towards me. The women, they were all right, but the men were spiteful. I remember I asked for pajamas, and do you know what? He went and brought me and left it on the end of my bed. Some pink nightie
he took the piss.
with sheep flying over, clouds.
He
I
took the
thought, are you
piss.
serious?
Yeah,
no.
I thought you're taking a mic.
No, he did
He
definitely.
did it on purpose.
He done that on purpose.
Yeah, he did it on purpose.
Literally.
Oh, what, you had to just wear that?
No, I didn't wear it.
Yeah,
I
I would
used
have
that
worn
to
it as
clean
well.
the cell and
Yeah.
yeah. Whenever they gave me stuff like that, I just ripped that up and used it as dishcloth.
I love
Yeah, because I wouldn't have worn that
No,
either.
no, no,
Like, do you know
no,
what I
no.
mean? I'm
I
not
thought
even
it
trans,
was-
and I wouldn't have worn that. Like, nah.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Absolutely not.
So, your actual experience. So, how was it like on a day to day, like with showers and like?
Well, yeah. So on a day to day, like I'll be honest, the women there were lovely. Like all the inmates on there, they were all welcoming, proper. Like 24/7, I was getting questions from every one of them. I can't lie, but they'll always be like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind me asking," and then they'll ask about like maybe just me being trans or something. Do you know what I mean?
That's nice.
But I didn't mind.
First, yeah.
I didn't mind because I genuinely felt like I was there to be the voice
Right.
for the community. And
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm here
And
educating these people.
Yeah.
They don't know. Even the staff were
They
poorly
didn't know.
educated, literally.
And they're the staff. They should
Yeah.
know better. Yeah.
So every day, every day you'd be called to do this, do that, and whatever. So it was always like, ladies, go get your water, or ladies, get behind your door. And I used to say to him, like, come on, man, you told me that like there's other trans people here. I thought you'd be a bit more diverse. Why can't you say something a bit more? Do you know what I'm
Everyone.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was always ladies, ladies, ladies. Some of the officers there tried to make an effort and change the way they spoke, knowing that I was there. But sometimes I had to protest. I'll literally sit there when they're saying, ladies, get in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
like,
I
you
mean.
ain't talking to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear it. Yeah.
Like, I literally had that attitude a bit. But yeah, so and then I remember one of the staff there as well, I said to him, he kept calling me miss, and I said to him, can you stop calling me that? Like I said, I'm trans male, can you just call me either Tyler or him or something? And he literally turned around and said, I'll call you what I want. Yeah, literally. That's the kind of treatment I got from them. So I was just like, oh, okay, sort of thing. And if you try to report it to like the I can't even remember the terminology for these people, like the head of the
wardens.
house, the head of them,
the head. Yeah.
like nothing got done about it. Do you know?
Yeah,
what I mean? We should be
nothing,
like,
man.
oh, I'll have a word with them and stuff, but yeah, nothing ever really got done about it. And it's
Could do nothing about it.
just live with
I
it.
feel like that's the thing about prisoners. Like once you're there, people think you're less than like some human being or something.
literally.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just really, really unfair. Like this
Yeah.
is still people,
Still humans.
human
Yeah.
beings. Do you know what I mean? So you still like deserve basic human rights. Like
Literally.
you know, did people use like your name or like did they use your dead name? Like especially like the staff and stuff.
Do you know what? I was born Tyler. That was my name.
Okay.
That's my
I was gonna say they know the name.
They know you.
my dead name's still alive.
Yeah, okay. I love
Yeah,
that.
and I was actually born Tyler, Tyla. That's how it's spelled, but I've never changed it. I just kept
Okay,
it.
yeah. I feel that.
So how was the other trans male? Like, was he like, okay, this is what you do? Was he like showing you the ropes kind of thing?
Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like for some reason, I don't know. I felt like maybe he kept his experience more quite like to himself, but I felt like he had more of a soul in there. Like I don't know how to put it. He did come out like 2-3 weeks after I was in there as well. So I didn't
Not for
see
that
his
long,
time before then. So maybe he was just one that like just wanted to always keep away, keep in his cell, keep his head down. Do you know what I mean? He had 2-3 weeks left. He didn't want to cause anything to extend the sentence or whatever. But I remember he even gave me these little roll-on perfumes of dupe. Like that smell just is associated with prison now, literally, because I used to always use that whenever I went on my visits, and my mum would literally hug me and rub her scarf all over me to get the smell.
Get the
off of
smell.
it. Yeah, but I remember he gave me them, and he also gave me a few little toiletries and stuff like cream and stuff. Because a lot of their stuff as well in the canteen, it's not really for like Afro-Caribbean people. You know what I mean?
That's
it's
another
all
problem.
like Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that actually. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Head and Shoulders.
It's not really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he gave me a few bits that he had. So yeah. But we used to chill together, go gym and that together. Yeah, we still.
So how long were you like locked up and then you have time out the cell?
So if you don't have a job in there or any education, anything, you will literally be locked up all day. You just get let out for like breakfast at like an hour, then get locked back up, then you get let out for lunch. You get locked back up and then dinner, and then you'll be locked back up. Yeah.
Those were like free time, like to go outside.
Oh no, yeah, you get to go out.
Okay.
Yeah, you get to go out for like I think it's 15-20 minutes or something.
That's not even long.
The yard is literally a triangle, and everyone just walks in the same direction.
Yeah,
linking arms and stuff.
Nah,
and just walking around.
What is the point? Like, what's the
dodgy
point?
little deals quickly.
Yeah. you know? I think everyone thinks it's like on TV. What you see on TV, they're not always in their cells, innit? So everyone thinks what you see on TV, they're having a good old social time in there.
Because when you watch Bad Girls, I mean,
Bad Girls,
I remember that. Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, so with TikTok, you've been raising awareness with it and stuff like that. And some people have said things like, "Oh, we were talking about outside." Why are you a male when it suits you, and then but you go to female prison and stuff like that? Like, what would you say to people that say things like that?
Well, like, you weren't in my shoes. Do you know what I mean? You weren't in my position, the position I was in then, and I didn't even felt like I passed outside, let alone be able to pass in there as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't had any surgery. I wasn't on testosterone at the time as well. Like, I just genuinely, as much as I identified as a male, I didn't feel like anyone would take me seriously. Somehow, do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. My chest was very large as well, so it was very obvious, even when I binded. Like, so I just thought I'd be very vulnerable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Extremely vulnerable. Even though
you would have been, 100%. Like, you wouldn't have been safe for you at all.
Yeah, I'm vulnerable in both, obviously, females prison and a male's prison, but I feel like I genuinely would have been a lot more vulnerable in the male's prison.
Do you know what you're saying? Like, you don't think you like passed beforehand? I don't think that's true. Like, I don't think that's true. Obviously, when we met and stuff like that, I didn't think otherwise. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think otherwise, and I think someone called you she, and I was like, why you calling him she? Like, don't call him she, kind of thing. And it was one of our colleagues. Okay. And I was like, don't call him she, and then they were like, yeah, but Tyler's she, this we know Tyler's he. I literally have a 10-minute conversation with the person. Yeah. And I think that they knew, but they just were being ignorant kind of thing. And then I remember I saw you at Black Pride after that. And then that's when I started calculating. I didn't think otherwise. So you definitely did pass. Crazy. Yeah. It's only when I saw you at Black Pride. Yeah. I was like, oh, kind of thing. Yeah, he's trans. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think, but I think then again, you weren't where you wanted to be in your transition, so that's why you're gonna think that. It's definitely a mental thing. And I was saying to them like in a group chat the other day, like, it's mad that what we see in the mirror is not what everyone else sees. We see things that no one else sees.
It's very.
Do you know what I mean? So like, I would look in the mirror one day, I'd be like, I put all this weight, and my friends were like, you haven't put on that much weight, like relax kind of thing. But Timmy, I feel like I'm humongous. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's true. Like, sometimes I need people to say like, no, just relax kind of thing. It's calm kind of thing. Yeah. But it's true. So how was it like getting out when you came out? When they said, all right, this is your release date. Did you know what your release date was going to be?
Yeah, I got given my release date. They gave me my release date, but for some reason I remember it changing. I think because it landed on like a Saturday, so they pushed it forward to the Monday. Yeah. Okay. Rather than pulling it back. Yeah. I remember. I think it was the 18th of March. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just happy. You was happy to get out of
there. Yeah.
Before we even get to that, I saw on TikTok you was talking about like, love letters and stuff like that when you was in there. Because you know, because my ex went to prison as well, and she was like, because she was a femme when she's outside, but in there she was like, "Yep, I'm gonna be a stud in prison." Yeah, she's like, "I'm gonna be a stud. I'm gonna like get all the girls." But it wasn't even a thing getting girls because like she wanted to. It was like for her, she felt like it was more like survival to do that. And yeah, she said it was calm. Like she was calm as a stud in there.
Did she really went as a stud?
Yeah, when she went in there, she was like, "Well, I'm not gonna have makeup to do makeup and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just put my hair in cane rolls and be a stud while I'm in there." And she was quite dominant anyway. So she had that energy. Yeah. So, but yeah, she was just telling me like, listen, like if you're like mass presenting or you're a trans man or things like that, you're going to get girls in there. That's what she's saying.
I can't lie, you do. Yeah, man.
What was that like?
A lot of fans in there.
Really? Yeah. You've got fans on TikTok. I've seen them in the comments. I've seen them in the comments.
No, yeah, no. Do you know what? It was funny, man, because probably majority of them were straight.
Yeah.
As well, and not that because obviously I identify as a male, so technically I see it as like
it's a hetero thing.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was funny, man. I used to get letters pushed under my door every day.
Not under the door.
What were they saying in the letters? I want to know. What were they saying in the letters?
Just like random things like, "Oh, I want to kiss you," and it's like child thing. That's what I felt like in school. Do you know what I mean?
But it must be like school though in there. Yeah, it must be like little gossip. It
was funny. Yeah,
man. That is jokes.
Girls saying, "Oh, like, yeah, I know I like you and all this, but I know you don't like me," and I'm just like, wow, literally putting themselves out there to me like that, and I'm just like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no, do you know what? It did pass time.
Yeah.
It passed time. At one point, I actually did double up as well in a cell with one girl. I started seeing her. And yeah, I was more a bit settled then.
Yeah. little home.
Yeah, but then it all kicked off. I never forget. Do you know what? Actually, she went for me in the cell one morning because I remember I was sitting there, and like I ended up getting a job in the call center. We literally worked in a call center where we'd call random people like outside as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Call them for what?
Asking them who's their gas provider, who's your phone provider.
Really?
They're getting information. You know them people that call you and ask you them questions? They're probably sitting in prison.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
To work.
I worked in a call center. I even got a certificate when I come out of there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Experience in a call center.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought that the jobs in there will all be like laundry. Again, like we see on TV, like laundry room,
there
like
was all
chefs
that,
and stuff like that.
There was all that as well. But yeah, I had a call center job. That was the highest paying job. I think it was like £1.20 a day. Literally.
A day.
£1.20 a day. Yeah, and we used to do about, 5-6 hours in there, literally. And so one morning, I remember waking up, and she worked in the salon. So we're up in the morning, getting ready and stuff. And then I was sitting there drinking my coffee, watching the TV. I was ready. I was just waiting for them to call.
Yeah.
They say movement, innit? Like,
okay,
you get up and go where you're going, and they let you through. They give you a little slip thing that lets you through the buildings and stuff. And then I was sitting there drinking my coffee. And then after I'd finished it, I put the cup down. The girl turns around and says to me, "What, you didn't think to save me some or something?" I looked at her, huh? What?
My coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even share cups or drinks or that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. And then she must have turned around and said to me, "You look like a man, but you don't act like one." I was like, "What?"
Oh, she tried.
Like my blood started to boil then, I'm telling you. And I can't remember what else she said. She said something about my mumsy, and like every morning I remember waking up and I'd always get a letter under my door from my mum as well. And I'd read that in the morning, and I felt like that just gave me the strength for the day as well. Do you know what I mean? And I can't remember exactly what it is. I think she told me to suck. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I remember I literally flipped. I got up and I went to go grab her. I'll be honest, I don't put my hand on women. I haven't done since, I don't know, probably about 14, 15 years old. The last time I fought with a woman. I went to go grab her, like, what the hell did you just say? She tried to swing for me, all sorts. It all kicked off in the cell. I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
We got separated, and they actually put me into a separate cell. I actually broke my hand as well. That day,
really?
that incident. Yeah, they put me into a separate cell for about 3 hours. I was ringing the buzzer, asking for an ice pack. Do you think they brought me an ice pack?
Nope.
When they did, it was about maybe 2-3 hours later, and then the thing melted within about half an hour. I asked for another one, didn't give me another one.
So that was it. That was just the one.
Yeah, literally just the one. And I said to them, my hand's genuinely broken. They was like, okay, we'll try to get you an appointment at the hospital and all of this, but we can't tell you when it is because obviously, security reasons and stuff, you might try to plan an escape.
Okay.
So you literally randomly get called and taken to the hospital. I said, all right, cool. This is 3 weeks later. I got taken for an X-ray.
3 weeks.
3 weeks later.
By then, your
hand is all down in a diary.
Yeah.
Literally. I've wrote day to day.
Yeah.
Written down.
But by then, your hand is damaged.
That's exactly
from
what
not being
the hospital
seen.
said. They put me in a cast, but they said that obviously the bones won't like.
It would be the same.
It won't be the same basically.
So now
I
you've
left
still
it
got that
too
little
long.
bit of damage from that.
Yeah, man.
All because they left it too long.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wow, that's
terrible.
mad. It's just so much mistreatment in there all the time. But
Literally, but yeah, my mum told me, she turned around, she said, "I told you not to get involved with any of the women in there. That's your business."
But what actually happened? Why was she moving mad? Like,
because of the coffee.
I don't know. Yeah, all because of the coffee. Yeah. Because of the coffee, because I didn't share my coffee with her.
Do you know what? She just woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
No,
that's
crazy.
what it was.
she's
Crazy.
nuts, man. Why can you get angry about coffee?
Bruh. So after that, you just separated for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
They put you guys back in.
No, they
there.
never put us back together. That was it. Stayed
Wow.
in separate cells. But then it's funny because when I first went in, they swore to me that, oh, you'd never get put in a double and all this for your own safety as a trans man and for the woman's own safety as well. But I think that staff, that prison was so understaffed and so overpopulated as well. They didn't have the space. They literally, when it got to a point, there was an Australian flu going around. So we kept getting locked up in quarantine. And them times we weren't going to work or nothing or education. She was locked up literally
All day.
basically about 20 hours a day.
That's
Yeah.
That's a
inhumane.
lot.
Yeah.
And that's when I asked to go in a double because I felt like I was going insane. as
Yeah,
well. I just
yeah.
wanted
Is that
someone there.
was it solitary? Like,
Yeah.
just
almost
divided
like
solitary,
solitary,
yeah. That's what it was like. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy. So how were the trans women? Did you meet any trans women that were in there?
I didn't. Well, I only ended up seeing one when we got taken over. There was a special house block where they kept more of the higher
high crimes and stuff. Yeah.
And she was over there as well. I remember going over there. They were just taking us on a tour, and I remember seeing her stand there mopping the floor and stuff. But I literally just slipped her, and I thought,
yeah, did actually.
But they were in there for something serious as well against a woman.
Oh, okay.
Which is a bit crazy. But then everyone used to say apparently they took medication to stop their things working, functioning. Yeah, that's what the trans women had to do if they still had penis. Then they will have to
Oh, really?
Yeah, take medication to stop
it from working.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard. I didn't know there was medication that existed.
When we was talking about it on one of like the last episodes, we was just saying, because obviously there was this case about a trans woman going to
the male's prison.
Yeah, male's prison, or women's prison, and we was talking about that, and was like there needs to be some sort of like precaution if it's like a violence against women. Do you know what I mean? Like there needs to be some sort of precaution. So we didn't know that even was a thing. Like that they give you medication for.
What do you think about that case anyway? That one that went, I think they started transitioning while
during the trial.
Yeah, during the trial or something.
That's what I thought. It's a bit like, I was just like, wow. Like I think it's a bit crazy.
Yeah. So I think there's someone left a comment, and what did they say again in one of our on the Instagram? I think they said something like it's one of them things that's proper hard to gauge because who are you to say that this person isn't actually trans? Do you know what I mean? Like it might look like it's timely, but what if they just felt comfortable coming out at that time? Do you know what I mean? Like and they actually been genuine. And then how do you separate that from people who are just trying to swindle the system? So they go to a women's prison. So it's not like they don't go to a men's prison when it's difficult and whatever. Not that women's prison is not difficult as well. But yeah, the lady, because she was a prison staff. So she was like, it's hard. Like you don't know what to do sometimes. But I was reading up on it afterwards, and I saw they changing up the law so that, but mainly not really for trans men, though, it's mainly for just trans women.
Okay.
That it's going to be according to like if you've got a penis or whatever. Okay. That's what they're going to do to that.
Yeah.
But that's mad though. Like we can say you got a penis on the application form or something. Do you know what I mean? It's an invasion of their privacy. No matter what they've done, it's still their privacy.
Yeah.
But so I did read there's a lot going on around it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've had people even comment on my TikTok and stuff saying how they think they can solve the situation is by putting all the trans women or trans men on their own wing by themselves and separating them all together. Or whatever. Yeah, but then they're still all vulnerable against each other. Do you know what I mean? Say, for example, even if you had a wing full of trans women, what if there's that odd one or two that isn't genuine? They're still a
and they could be transphobic as well.
Exactly. It could be transphobic.
True.
So it is. I feel sorry for whoever's the person who has to make the last decision.
Yeah,
that's even mad though, because that's a hard one.
Like putting everyone in one, it makes you feel like you're not even human anymore. Right. Like why can't I just be with everyone else, kind of thing. So that's crazy. I don't think that's a solution. No, to be honest, that's a dead shit solution.
Yeah, but it's like, what is the solution? Because it's a very hard one. I feel like people are very like, on one side, and one side is like, oh no, they should go to a male prison, and then some people are like, they should be able to pick. And it's just like, what is the actual solution here? Like, because obviously the world is really changing. There's different genders. There's non-binary. Like, what happens then? Like,
even where the non-binary people go? Do you know what I mean?
Where the non-binary?
I was watching a thing on I was watching a thing on TikTok, and it was a video of this guy who just video recording people as soon as they've come out of prison, right at the gates. And one of them was a trans woman, but I don't think he knew that was a trans woman, because obviously I think obviously they had to just fit into a male's prison, so they weren't like having their wigs or nothing like that. And like as she was talking, and that's when she said, "Oh, I'm a trans woman," and he was like, "Oh, so what was that like for you?" And she was, I hate it. Like I've hated it, but I'm in prison all the time, so this is my life now. When I come out, I'm homeless, so I've got to commit crime for me to have shirt over my head to go back into prison. Not that I want to go to prison, but it's just a revolving door for me at this point. And there's no option for me to go to women's prison because they don't see me as a woman, and it's like, that must be a prison within a prison. Do you know what I mean? Like in your mind, I'm a woman, you wouldn't express that, but you're in this place that's telling you now you're a man. Do you know what I mean? So I know, but at the same time, she had a good attitude towards it though. She just thought, you know what? I'm going in there. I have something to eat. I've got a roof over my head. I'm gonna try and stay out of trouble. But if I'm homeless, I'm vulnerable on the streets as a trans woman as well. So vulnerable either way. Do you know what I mean? Would you rather be vulnerable, roof over your head, or vulnerable on the streets? Do you know what I mean? So, and I was just thinking, like, I don't know. All these things are coming on my For You page now. I was like, there's just so many things, and I don't think it's a thing that people necessarily always think about. No, it's not something that's.
I think it's hard to think about when you're like when you don't have any proximity to it. Like, so if you're just like you don't know anyone that's maybe trans, or you don't know anyone that's had that kind of experience, and you're a cis straight like person, it's kind of hard to put your like. It's hard to imagine like that kind of scenario, and to even like, because I think your first thought is going to be like, oh no, you're going to be against everything, and that's what we're seeing on the internet with these conversations happening. Is that like a lot of people are just against it. They're not really thinking critically. They're just like, no, well, that's wrong. They shouldn't be that. But there's nuance there. You need to probably have like a conversation and like open dialogue with it, and that's the problem. Because even I remember my sister sent me something, and it was to do with this case, and she was just like, no, this person should have to go to a male prison because it's not safe for women. And as we said, people are not safe anywhere. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? There are mad people
even outside.
You know this is another thing as well. You know the wing that I got put onto. Yeah. Do you know who was on there? Can I mention names like that?
Yeah, we'll bleep it out.
Oh
well. Who was actually on the wing? A lady called Johann Dennehy. Have you heard of her? No. The Peterborough mass murderer who killed about 5 men, 18 men. She was on my wing. Literally, she was in like the cell like opposite me.
Is it?
Yeah, but for some reason she genuinely liked me. Like we were cool. I remember her giving me like her cakes that she didn't like. Lemon slice thing, she didn't like it. She used to always give it to me. But she was seeing one girl in there who I was good friends with. We made friends in there. Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. She was seeing her. So like when it come to going on that little walk around that triangle, it'll be all of us. Hooked up, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was times she'll say to me, like, she'll just randomly cut her hair in her cell and do some craziness and stuff. Yeah. And then she'll come out wearing some like tight tank top and like tight shorts or something. And then she'll ask me, like, does her hair look good or what she's wearing does it look good? I don't know whether to say yes or no. Do you know what I mean?
You're scared, like, what?
Like, she was like trying to be femme sometimes, but then trying to be like a bit butch. Do you know what I mean? Like, but she, like, it's crazy for me to say. She was actually a cool person. Like, it's crazy for me to say.
But that's the thing though, like, you know what, people's crimes don't always, I don't want to say that they do something, but they don't always define the person. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everyone. Sometimes people find themselves in a bad spot. Sometimes it's mental health. Yeah. Sometimes they just did it because they wanted to do it. But at the end of the day, sometimes people get out of that space. Do you know what I mean? They still have, somebody loves them. Someone in this world loves that person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but that's mad though. That's because that's high profile.
Yeah, that's what I'm
high
saying.
profile person.
Yeah. She was in there for life. Like, well, 3, 4, how many? 4 or 5 life sentences.
Yeah, that's basically life.
Out. Yeah. She weren't coming out.
And did you feel like safe initially? Like,
no, not at all. What do you mean? The reason why she killed them is because she hates men.
Apparently. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm there identifying as a man.
Yeah. So for her to like take a liking to you, I wonder what that was.
I don't know.
Do you know what? I think it's making me think now. Crazy. Maybe with that getting haircuts and now asking you, maybe they wanted to be a man at some point.
Who knows?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they
and they didn't really have the education to like go about exploring it properly. It could be that you just never know.
Because I know when I was younger and I was growing up, like my early teens, like I was homophobic. I was
we say it all the time.
I was probably homophobic. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. I hold my hands up to it. I genuinely probably was a bit.
We didn't have language. We didn't understand.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that many people around you, growing up, I don't remember knowing anyone who was an LGBT. Like,
no.
Do you know what? Actually, the hairdressers that my mum used to take me to, there was a trans woman that used to go there, do her hair.
Oh, wow.
And I remember one time I don't know, maybe must have been about 12 or something. And we've left and my mum said, oh, you know that woman is a man. And I was like, I remember thinking, what is this woman talking about? Like, what she mean is the man, yeah. And then she's like, oh, she was born a man, but now she's a woman. And I was like, and I remember that, even that language itself, it's going to make you think, oh, it's just a man dressed up as a woman, yeah. And then as we've gotten older, now my mum works in she works in the court system.
Okay.
So like she sees trans people in that, but she's got all the language for days. Like she's telling me now, like, no, this person's a trans woman, and if someone misgenders them, she's there correcting them now. And I think back to when I was 12 and she didn't have the language, like, but that's what we heard, so that's what we taken on as well and stuff like that. But outside of her, I didn't even think that she was even LGBT. It didn't cross my mind this person's LGBT. But definitely no lesbians, definitely no gay people. Even though one of my uncles gay, I didn't know that as a child, but I didn't know. Definitely no bisexual. I didn't know anything. There was no one.
That's what I was thinking. If I grew up like seeing like a transgender role model, I'd generally probably be watching them thinking, I want to be like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
not even on TV, there wasn't no one.
Yeah, like I always wanted to get muscle, and do you know what I mean? I didn't want to have chest, and I wanted to dress the way I wanted to dress. But then I thought like I can't really do it because people are gonna look at me like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or, like, it just weren't normal.
Yeah, for real. So when you've come out now, was that a place where you now you start thinking, were you thinking like I want to look forward to the rest of my transition now? Like, or was you just all about survival? When
you know
come out of
what?
prison?
It was. No, I wanted to transition, definitely.
Yeah,
obviously,
continue,
that was my plan to just get things started, because I thought like, I just felt like it just needs to happen, like, because
that's your life.
Yeah, all them years before were basically, I felt like wasted. I wouldn't say it's wasted because it has made me who I am today as well. Do you know what I mean? But I thought like, wow, I've just let all this time go by. And the thing is, I started bumping into people that I remember from back in the day who probably identified as a stud before and that have now like fully transitioned, and I'm like, wow, like I felt like I come out as trans before they did. You don't obviously want to compare yourself with people and
it's
their
natural
journeys.
though.
Everyone's
It's
natural, man. It happens, and I'm just thinking like, raw, how have you got to where you are now? And I tried to start this years ago. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, you see it like, right, it can happen, and it can happen pretty soon as well if you put your mind to it as much as you can. But it's just, there's not enough obviously funding, and there's not enough space on the NHS for people to get things done as well. So it's like you have to go private.
I think most people get their top surgery they pay for themselves. Not many people go through NHS. So how much is that?
It can range literally. I think the cheapest probably over here would be about $7,000.
Cheapest?
Yeah, 7 to 12 maybe.
Does that include like the aftercare and
everything,
things like that? How long is the aftercare afterwards?
So I remember going back to her about 2-3 times. Maybe I went after 6 weeks, then after 3 months, and I've still got my yearly appointment to attend in June.
And after that, that's it done. $7,000. Do you know what I mean?
That's a lot of money. You know? And I'm just thinking about like how trans people are usually vulnerable people because they might not have support from their families, and just because of like them not being able to be who they are, there's a lot of like mental health issues that come with that. And so maybe like even having a stable job to even save for that amount of money is just, it's just a lot. Like
exactly. Even being in work, like luckily, obviously at the bus garages and that, no one really knew. Everyone just saw me as a man. That was it. And there was that little hiccup in Stagecoach with that certain person. But that was that. But lucky it didn't get around too much. But and that's like an industry full of what, 500 men? 10
it's
women.
mainly men.
You know what I mean? So at first it was a bit awkward, but once I was calm and like literally I felt like everything was all right. Do you know what I mean? I felt comfortable. Then that's why I probably stayed there for as long as I did in that industry as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember there was, I don't know if you even clocked it, but there was an older woman on the buses, and I think she was an older lesbian.
But with Arriva?
Not on Stagecoach. And she had like, I don't know, was it locks or was it just single plaits? But her hair was like grey.
Okay.
But she always kept herself
to herself. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I remember going to my ex at the time. I remember saying, "Oh, like that's gonna be me in the future."
That is a joke.
Yeah, because I remember one day I clocked that she's wearing the men's uniform as well, and I thought, "Oh,
yeah."
But I think she used to look over sometimes and be like,
definitely a stud.
Yeah, like there wasn't many. Everybody was just men. Yeah, mainly men in there. There was a couple women. A couple of them were lesbians. You know, my auntie actually works in our old garage.
Is it?
Yeah, she works there. She's on 55. Well, she's beefing my uncle now. I don't know if she called her my auntie anymore.
No, wow. she does not say hi, so let's not
say hello anymore.
Auntie.
I know.
No, it's respect to it.
Her daughter followed me on TikTok the other day, so you know I got to keep it a little bit respectful now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I think you said you wrote everything down in your diary and stuff like that. Like, what do you want to do with that? I feel like, yeah, man. Yeah.
I've said this for years. When I was in there, actually, that's why I started obviously writing, because I thought like, well, I'm going to turn this into a book. And it literally, when I was writing in there, I'd started writing from as young as I could remember. My childhood growing up, because even that was a bit, do you know what I mean, all over the place, I'll be honest. But my parents are my family, and like I said, they're excellent. I couldn't ask for anything better. Literally, they're the best. But I think it's because of whatever was going through in my head, my mind. I just weren't who I wanted to be. I don't know.
To be honest with you, that does like,
do you know what I mean?
That fucks you over, to be honest. It's all about what's going on in your head. It's not even, everyone can give you all the support in the world, but if you're not comfortable, you're just not comfortable.
Yeah, I was wild. Like, I got 3 other siblings. And I ended up in care as well. Do you know what I mean? Literally, but that was like a joint decision, because I was literally destroying the household. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, emotionally and physically.
Yeah, so, I think it was just because you just wanted to be you. Do you know what I mean? You wasn't getting to be, and you probably didn't even know how to as well, because you were young as well. So. So I definitely think you need to write a book. You need to write a movie or something. Do you know what I mean? Definitely, because I don't know of any like movies or stories or like books or anything that's
like
to do with anything like this. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a documentary maybe in the pipeline coming up.
Good. That's amazing.
Yeah, speaking to a producer, so
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Listen, we need to see it happen. You know, we need to see it happen. Like, I think just keep like document everything. Keep doing awareness as well. And what I like about you, is you don't seem forced. You're just keeping it 100. You know, some people, they're raising awareness, but it seems a little bit too forced. You can tell they're trying to get the brand partnerships and stuff like that. But you also just, it is what it is.
It literally is. It just comes from this experience, really. Do you know what I mean? Not having people around me to speak to or get advice from and stuff. I just feel like from literally some videos I even put out there, I don't know, I just put it out there just to share it with no like intentions. And then some of the feedback I get back from it, like I've been speaking to a young trans guy the last couple of days as well, and he's just like, I'm so grateful I come across your profile, like literally it gives me hope for my future. And it proper touches me to think like, raw, like
you are what
some sort of
somebody
impact.
Imagine if the younger you had
it's not little. Do you know what I mean? You don't say it like that. It's not little, because you think about your experience and what you went through, and if you had someone like that, it's not little. It's huge. It's big. It is big.
Like, even turned around and said to me like he didn't even think I was going to respond to him.
Is it?
Thinking, right? Yeah. A lot of people like they don't as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be in touch with these people, man. They're reaching out to you for a reason. Do you know what I mean? So
did you end up having like a little like trans community, or did you eventually have someone to like go and ask questions to and stuff? Like, or you had to just do it all yourself?
Well, I think it just eventually started to happen, really. Like, I'd just start to notice, like with Instagram, I had Instagram for the last good few years, and just see random follow requests and stuff from other trans guys that live in the area and stuff. And then this year I started getting in contact with them. And then doing these little projects, these odd little modelling projects and stuff for upcoming like companies and stuff, and then end up meeting them and just building a little community like that. Really,
keep it going, boy. Keep it going, because we need it. We need it. It's like everyday Americans. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? We're different to Americans, so our thing needs to be out there as well. But we've come to the end of our time. Come to the end. Thank you so much for coming, man. Appreciate it. Let them know your TikTok.
Oh, my TikTok, I don't even know. Tyla Takai. TYLA TAKAI.
We'll add it in the description below as well. Thanks you guys for listening. Make sure you use the hashtag Tutus Podcast on Twitter. Make sure you rate and review us, like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow Tyler. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, follow
Tyler on the socials. See what he's up to. Ask some questions, but keep it respectful as well. Like, because I don't sometimes, like, as much as you answer people and stuff like that, sometimes I think some people ask too many invasive questions.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
like
nobody ask no private.
Yeah, some people ask some private questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, keep it, just keep it respectful kind of thing. But thanks for listening, guys. Until next week, peace.